Hello everyone, welcome to Top 10 Character Moments. Today we're breaking down my list for the top 10 best moments of Luke Skywalker. Be sure to tune in every Friday to watch my latest top 10 video. In each video, I will break down my list for a specific character's best moments and why I like them so much. Just remember, this is my personal list. You don't have to agree with it, but I ask you respect my opinions as I will respect yours. My first goal here on Top 10 Character Moments is to reach 150 subscribers. We're over halfway there, you guys, so I highly encourage you to subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you have, tell your friends, family, neighbors. Let them know that Top 10 Character Moments is the place to be. And if they have subscribed, then tell them to go over to Sector for Nerds and subscribe there as well, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Alright you guys, let's get into some honorable mentions before cracking the top 10, shall we? First up, cutting off the Wampa's arm. Honestly, he probably should have just killed the Wampa and then stayed in the cave to keep warm, but regardless, I think this scene is worth mentioning because this was the first time in the original trilogy we see Luke using the Force with his hands. And it was one of those, is it gonna work, is it not gonna work moments, but luckily for Luke, it did. Looking at the twin suns, geez, that sounds hard. I look at one sun and my eyes hurt. In all seriousness though, this is about more than staring off into the distance. It's about a boy who wants to get away from his uncle's farm. A boy who wants to see the galaxy and go on adventures with his friends. Little does he know in that moment how his life is about to change. And finally, entering the cave on Dagobah. This definitely would have been in my top 10 before The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett happened. Luke ignores Yoda's advice, and as a result, Luke gets a glimpse into what his future could become if he's not careful. Funny enough, I remember watching this for the first time at about 6 years old, thinking to myself, why is Luke's face in Vader's helmet? And how did Vader get to Dagobah? Okay, let's get into the list itself. Here we go. At number 10, confronting Vader in The Empire Strikes Back. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet. Words said to Luke before an action-packed lightsaber duel between father and son, but Luke didn't know that yet. And then Luke does find out, and oh my goodness, plot twist. Let's be real, Luke got his butt kicked by Vader, but he put up more of a fight than he had any right to given his lack of training. At number 9, fighting Jabba's guards on the sail barge. First time we get to see Luke in action with his green saber. I always thought this was one of the coolest scenes growing up. The thing I love about Luke in the original trilogy is his character progression. In A New Hope, he starts as a farm boy, and by the time we get to Return of the Jedi, he's a freaking Jedi Knight. Look at Luke getting the same rank as his father did. Maybe he'll follow in his father's footsteps and also receive the rank of Jedi Master. Oh wait, never mind. At number 8, his conversation with Leia on Endor. You know the one. The Force is strong with my family. My father has it. I have it. And my sister has it. Luke drops so many bombshells on Leia in these few minutes. First off, Leia, do you remember your real mother that died? Also, Darth Vader is my father. Oh, and you're my sister, which also makes Vader your father too. Like, what the fuck, Luke? In all seriousness though, I love seeing the two of them talk things out the way a brother and sister should. Leia doesn't want Luke to confront their father, but he knows there's good in him. We'll get more into that later. At number 7, lifting his X-Wing out of the water. Say what you will about Luke's character in the new trilogy, and trust me, I've got my thoughts too, but you can't deny how cool this moment was. Luke did the same thing for Rey that Yoda does for him. It was very much a we've come full circle moment. And Yoda lifting the X-Wing out of the water in The Empire Strikes Back is one of my favorite moments in that movie. Also, playing the same John Williams music in both scenes, I may or may not have shed a few tears watching that the first time. At number 6, defeating the Dark Troopers. You want to talk about one of the most badass Luke Skywalker moments? This is it right here. I had my hopes that Luke would show up in The Mandalorian, but never did I expect it would be like this. Using so many saber techniques and force powers to take down these very powerful droids. Let's not forget the Mandalorian struggled to take down just one of these things. Meanwhile, Luke's here just taking down an entire platoon. At number 5, training Grogu. Like everyone, I was very sad when Mando and Grogu got separated. I wanted them to be together forever. But that being said, man was I pumped pumped for the idea of Grogu training to be a Jedi. A baby Yoda who's a Mandalorian and also a Jedi? That sounds so sick. And it actually happened, and I was left wanting more. To the point where I was slightly disappointed that Mando and Grogu reunited. Again, only slightly because it was a great moment. I think it just shouldn't have happened so soon right after Mandalorian Season 2. Anyway, back to Luke. Him running with Grogu on his back the way Yoda was in Empire and doing the same flips and dodges, so good. We also got an Order 66 scene out of it. But most importantly, we get Luke explaining what a training remote is, and Grogu thinks it's a ball. Nice. At number 4, his interaction with Ahsoka Tano. I don't know why I have this on here on second thought. I mean, it's only Anakin's son and his Padawan having a conversation with each other. It left me enough where I was satisfied, but also hungry for more. Most of it was about the Mandalorian and Grogu, but then Ahsoka throws in a line where she says Luke is so much like his father. Give me more of that. Give me more of Anakin's son and Padawan talking about him. Come on, Ahsoka series, don't let me down. At number 3, accepting the truth. The truth that Anakin Skywalker is his father. I've always enjoyed the conversation between Luke and Vader on Endor, but the more Vader content we get between Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi makes me love it even more. At this point, everyone has given up on Anakin. Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, even Leia, his own daughter. But Luke didn't. Luke is the only one who saw through all the deception and realized the Emperor hadn't driven Anakin from the light fully. At number 2, removing the helmet. The thing I said about more Vader content between Revenge of the Sith and this movie, that also applies to this scene. Obi-Wan cuts off half the helmet. Ahsoka cuts off the other half. But who's the only one to remove the full helmet? Not the Master, not the Apprentice, but his son. The son who never gave up on him when everyone else did. The son who loved him and threw his weapon away for him. Which is the greatest transition I could ever ask for into my number 1 favorite Luke Skywalker moment on my list. Throwing his weapon to the floor. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that is more powerful in Star Wars than this exact moment. Luke defeats his father in combat and could easily kill him, become Sidious's new apprentice, and help rule the galaxy. But nope, Luke is better than that. He's stronger than that. He's a Jedi like his father before him, and that moment of strength and love is what brings Anakin back to bring balance to the Force, just like the prophecy said he would. So there you have it, guys. That's my list for the top 10 best Luke Skywalker moments. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Luke moments are and why. Be sure to stay tuned every Friday to watch my latest top 10 video. Next week, I'll be breaking down my picks for the 10 best moments of the formerly Darth, now just Maul. Thank you all for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.